Hello and happy year of the snake. I myself, as a snake, am taking this opportunity to embrace renewal. As you can see, new specs, new hair, and I feel like it's going to be a big year for me. It's something in the air, something in the water. I can feel it, guys. Actually, I thought like being a snake in the year of the snakes meant that I'm just going to have the best year ever. But apparently, it's bad luck to be the animal in the year of that animal. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a good year for snakes. The year of the snake doesn't make sense to me, but that's how it goes apparently. But I went with a fellow snake to a shrine, and she was gonna go to get this sort of exorcism from a priest who like waves a stick and like washes away all the bad juju. And even though I didn't pay the same amount that she did, by proximity, I kind of got the cleansing, I got the washing. So I feel like I got a little bit of that purification going on. But yeah, if this is my last video, then maybe I didn't. In any case, I do feel like this is going to be a big year for me. I've got like things happening, things being planned. A lot of it is just traveling, but still, I'm determined this will be the year I finally finish writing my book. I said it on camera, so it has to happen now. But I'm nearly there, guys. I'm nearly there. But yeah, I do feel like the wheels of fate are turning for me, and it's all very exciting. It's a bit unstable, but that's kind of generally my life anyways. As for my reading goals, I really want to continue with the energy I had from last year, like reading lots of fantasy and funny things. That was something that really surprised me looking back at the best of video that I made for last year's reading, was that so much of it was really like comedic stuff. Normally I don't feel like I gravitate that way, but maybe I do, and I just never thought about it. Like if you look at all those like mood reading charts or whatever from storygraph, then they say my reading is very dark and dreary. But if you look at my best of list, then apparently not, because it looks like I was just like laughing all the way through 2024. But yeah, I enjoyed that, so I want to continue with the funny stuff. I want to continue with fantasy because I had such a good reading year for fantasy last year. And I also decided I wanted to make this, like a little bingo chart for the year of the snake. It looks a little barren now, although I did get the one with the red kind of edges, because red is supposed to be the lucky protective color for snakes this year. I think for everybody in general in Chinese stuff, red is just like auspicious, isn't it? But yeah, I decided to do like a little bingo board. It's kind of barren at the moment, but as I read the books that check off the different like prompts, then I'll put a little sticker or I'll do something colorful, so hopefully it will eventually be very pretty. It's got 16 little squares on it, 4x4. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I mean, I don't want to like kind of pressure myself either to be doing too much reading, and some of these are quite specific, so it might be a while before they actually get checked off, if at all. I'll go through the prompts with you anyways. So the first one I have is Naga, and Naga is a half human, half snake divinity, or like some kind of magical being from from Asian mythologies and religions, especially India, I feel. But yeah, it's in Buddhism and stuff, right? So it's everywhere. But yeah, a Naga, half human, half snake. So I decided something which has got a snake involved in it. Anything, any relation to snakes, basically. In the story, even on the cover maybe. I don't know, something to do with snakes. Next one I put anaconda. Anacondas are huge and aquatic, so I want to read a book which is also huge and aquatic, maybe set at sea, maybe like a big voyage. I want to read like something with a boat. I haven't read a boat story in a while, and I love them. Next I have fantasy, so kind of like nothing to do with snakes, just a fantasy. I couldn't do 16 different snake things, but a lot of them are snakes. But yeah, I want to read a fantasy novel. Euripides, he's just like, normally I try to read a Euripides book every year, so Euripides is there as well. Next I have viper. A viper is a small snake which injects its victims with venom. Need I say more? I want to read a book which is like a viper. Then I have Nihongo, so just something in Japanese. I'd like to read a whole book in Japanese. I've never done that before, so that will be quite. I'll be very happy if I manage to tick this one off. I wanted to put like snake stickers on them, but I was looking for snake stickers, but I couldn't find any. In Japan, around the Western New Year's, like end of December, they actually had lots of snake stuff in shops because they celebrate things kind of weird here. They do like a hybrid of like East and West for their New Year's. But anyway, no, I can't find any snake stickers now, so I kind of missed a chance there, perhaps. But we'll have a look, see. I might just draw snakes on it. Rod of Asclepius. Asclepius is the Greek god. He's a god. He starts off as a human, but he becomes a god. Greek god of healing. He has a famous rod which he uses to heal people, which has a snake entwined around it, and that symbol is a symbol of healing even now. You'll see it in loads of hospitals and stuff like that, especially in Western countries. But yeah, like snakes are in many mythologies connected to healing and regeneration, and rebirth and renewal and stuff like that. So I want to read a book which is healing in some way or another. And I have memoir because I want to read a memoir. I've been reading more of them lately and I'm enjoying them a lot. So, well, not some more than others, I want to find some good ones though. Then I have manga series. So since I've come to Japan, I've been like dipping into lots of manga, but I want to like find a good series that really that I read at least a few volumes of, and that would be enough to tick off this box. Because last year, 2024 will forever be the year that I discovered Dungeon Meshi, and I realized that wow, I haven't felt this way about like a kind of a book series in so many years. So I'd like to find something else like that. Just that feeling, not like Dungeon Meshi necessarily, but just something which makes me very excited to like keep reading in like continuing through a series, So yeah, manga series. Then I have Jormungandr. Jormungandr is the huge snake in Norse mythology which encircles the world. So I want something world encompassing. It's also an Ouroboros. So the snake eating its tail, the sign of infinity, sort of mystical. It's in lots of other cultures as well. So yeah, something that feels mystical and like maybe reaching towards the infinite. Jormungandr. And I have Jansen. That's Jansen as in Tove Jansen. Every year I try to read a Tove Jansen book. There she is. Now it's formalized. Then I have folkloric creature. It's something that I always love in a book when there's a folkloric creature like a giant or a gnome or an elf, or well, elves are kind of already done to death, I guess. Something that's not so like kind of famous, like a giant or a gnome, right? I encountered some good giants and some good gnomes last year, so I want to find some more good folkloric creature books where the book makes me kind of reassess my image of that folkloric creature. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's a vampire book, then I want to think about vampires completely differently after having read that book, and so it's kind of unlikely because there's so much variety out there, but it could happen. So anyway, yeah, some kind of folkloric creature that hopefully makes me reconsider that folkloric creature in general. Then I have shed skin. Presumably the reason why in lots of cultures snakes are associated with like regeneration and renewal is the fact that they shed their skin, and I want to find a book which looks great without the dust jacket. So it can look good with the dust jacket as well, but it has to look really good without the dust jacket. It's kind of, it happens sometimes, right? I always like it when you take off the dust jacket and you're surprised by how great it looks underneath it. But anyway, I want to find one of those. Then I have Genesis snake. So I mean the snake from Genesis, which is like the devil. So a book which has got something to do with like either a fall from grace or a devil in disguise or just some sort of vibe which connects to Genesis from the Bible, then that will be enough to check off this box. Snake oil. I'm not sure if you can actually read this because of the light, but yeah, snake oil. This is something to do with deception, I suppose. It could also be to do with Orientalism, because apparently I read when I was just like looking up the prompt snake oil. Snake oil did have some kind of healing properties when it was originally used in China, but then it kind of became through mass commercialization across the West. It became like a byword for, scammers and deceptive marketing, people offering to sell snake oil and promise that it would heal absolutely everything when actually it was just like a bottle of water or something, right? So I don't know exactly what book I'm going to find which like meets this category, but something that connects to that whole thing, that whole miasma. And then finally, Cadmus. Cadmus is my favorite hero from Greek mythology. He is a hero who defeats a dragon, although it's often referred to as a snake, because in Greek mythology snakes are kind of just the same as dragons, or dragons are rather just like big snakes. But yeah, he kills, let's say, a snake, and then after killing the snake, he's able to found a city which becomes Thebes, and it's like a big deal, and he becomes a king, and it's like a big thing. But he later on in life, he goes into self-imposed exile, and he starts to doubt whether it was the right thing to do to kill that snake, and he gets all down about it, and he prays to the gods and says, if I was wrong to kill that snake, if that was actually a bad thing to do, then please, turn me into a snake so that I can kind of make up for it. Take this body and just turn it into a snake. And lo and behold, the gods do turn him into a snake. And then his loving wife, Harmonia, who is also a goddess, turns herself into a snake, and they slither off into the woods and live happily ever after. So for Cadmus, I'm looking for a protagonist or like a main character, let's say, who is self-critical, who's going through a stage of kind of self-evaluation perhaps, who could be reckoning with their past, reckoning with their privileges, what those privileges are built upon, the foundation of those privileges, you know. But the main thing is, I guess, some sort of doubt about oneself and that interrogation and questioning. So it could be about confronting regret. It could also be about an ensuing renewal, transformation, rebirth, regeneration, something like that. That's what I'm going for with the Cadmus prompt. And then yeah, I'm not sure, maybe if I get like 4 in a row, I'll give myself a chocolate or something, and if I actually finish the whole board, which I hope I will do, then I'll treat myself to something somehow. If you have any ideas for how I should reward myself for playing Snake Bingo, then please put them down in the comments, and also feel free to chat down there about anything snake related or non-snake related or book related even. I hope you all have a lovely lunar new year. Lovely lunar new year, that's kind of hard to say. I hope you all have a lovely lunar new year ahead of you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!